Good morning, YouTube. Just doing a little bit of straightening up here. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the live. Today's topic of conversation. If you're there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you guys know I'm there. There is a topic of conversation that came up yesterday. Robert Glasper, the musician, said that artists, and I'm going to paraphrase it, he was saying that artists that do not know how to read, they're going to hit a glass ceiling. And then he said, what else you got? Let's talk about the Do a little bit of tidying up here. Let's talk about the importance of reading and you should desire why you should desire to read. If you guys came in on the live earlier, you guys saw me pulling out some written sheet music, just briefly going through it. And I definitely I could have ear hustled it, and I kind of listened to the song. Name of the song is a bar song, Tipsy. It's not everybody in the club getting tipped, not that one. Even though writing and producing credits are in the bar song as well. So why do you guys think that it's important to actually desire to learn how to read music? It's just not the fact of simply sitting down and playing. It's not this fact of just sitting down and ear hustling. And I could play certain things by ear, but it's actually important to sit down and actually read the music. Very important that we do this. This is one of my main goals that I said that I was going to do for the 2026 year is get my reading intact. Get my reading intact. My teacher told me those that learn to read the music get the job. If you can set something down like this in front of someone and they can actually be like, okay, and start going through it and reading it, you got the job. Now, there's also an important aspect of reading that one musician mentioned in the comments. He said he knows a lot of readers that can read the music, and as soon as you take the book away from them, they get lost. I've seen that happen. I was like, wow. I've seen it on both ends. So it's important that you actually learn how to do both. But above all, which one do you desire to do? Mine is actually to read. I want to learn how to read. So I'm gonna do a little bit more tightening up here. You guys let me know in the comments why you think that would be important. Certain times, certain aspects of this get kind of messy over here. Evelyn, how you doing? How you doing? Good morning. As the topic implies, we're talking about reading music. We're talking about reading music, why it's important to actually learn how to read. One of the goals of a musician should be actually to read the music. And you're saying tradition. Okay. You got a point there. You got a point there. There's a lot of times that when we actually start learning music, we actually begin reading the music first. If you're going to sit down with a music teacher and you're going to start your basic scales, you actually start off reading first. Well, or do you? Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. Evelyn, going to school and putting, what does he do when he leaves and your dad doesn't? Okay. So yeah, reading music is important. Reading music is important. It is going to open up a world of musical enjoyment. Going to open up a world of musical enjoyment for when you actually sit down and start learning how to read the music. Even if you don't work in the music industry, even if you don't work in the music industry, let me put this right here. Even if you don't want to work in the music industry and you want to do music for your own enjoyment, learn to read. Learn to read. Tie that down there. And now we're gonna go over to the piano. And as you guys can see, I have reading all around me. Books on books on books. Again, if you're tuning in, like, subscribe, hit the share button, hit the bell notification. Topic of discussion is reading is. What is exactly reading? What is the definition of reading? Had to uncover my boards here, but reading number one is comprehension. Say kind of like I'm looking at this song here, and the first thing I want to do is this song is called a bar song, Tipsy. You guys have heard that song, and I don't even know if I can give a snippet of it. Yeah, let's do that for a second so you guys can see where I'm going with this. And I'm going to say fair use for the sake of creating original content here. Get out of there. Get out of there. I don't even want to go there. Home history. Let's click on my history real quick. Okay, Evelyn, I sent you the profile picture. I sent you the game, and your dad has been asking me about it for 3 days and putting says I'm missing almost. Okay. Take a look at this history real quick. Okay. And the first thing I do, and what got me thinking about this song is learning a song for a wedding. And I said, hey, there's a piano there. What else you got? What else you got? So I started thinking about it. I'm going to leave that right there. I'm going to leave that right there. So that's the song. And I can't play too much of the song. I got about another 30, got about another 17 minutes on this live before I head to the gym. But I just want to get you guys to thinking about what is reading. You know, of course, we have memory, you know, what we learn. We have memory. We have things that we write down. We have all those things that we actually love to play that we actually commit to memory. But what happens when we want to learn a new piece? Again, let's talk about reading is. What happens when you actually want to learn a new piece? When you get tired of playing the Okay, that's good. All that's by memory. All that's by memory. What happens when you want to actually learn a new piece? What happens when you actually want to learn a new piece? What are you going to do? You hear something on the radio, you hear somebody's having a wedding. Are you going to ear hustle the song? You know, as we do, as I gave an example with that Shabuzi, are you going to ear hustle the song, or are you going to do something like pull the sheet music out? Sheet music out, and all of a sudden you're actually starting to analyze the song. Okay, we have three sharps in the song. That means that the song is going to be in the key of, there's one, the key of A, one sharp, which is going to be C sharp. Okay, second sharp is going to be F sharp. And then we have the song G sharp. Okay, so when you start learning how to read the music, that's the first thing that you're going to do. Reading is, okay, reading number one is comprehension. You're actually starting to comprehend. The song does not have a time signature in it. It's a country song. I'm assuming that it's going to be in the key of 4/4. Now, keep this in mind. Reading is understanding. So we already understand what key the song is in. Next thing that I'm looking at is I'm looking at these chord changes at the top. F minor 7 to A, D to A, to we have a E with a G sharp in the bass. This is everything. If you're planning to do a song for the wedding, this is how we actually get started. This is actually how we get started. We start analyzing the whole entire song. Okay, blah 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 blah. I'm checking to see if there's any other chord changes in the song. Changing that right there. We got a total of 7 pages. Reading is comprehension. Reading is understanding. Reading is taking the time to learn the music. Very simple melody. Excuse me, very simple melody. So when you actually take the time to read, reading is actually taking the time. Make sure I got my pages in line. And what I'm doing right now is I'm looking for any direct chord changes. And everybody knows that you're going to hold the chord off in your left hand. So I've already played a snippet of the song. Next thing I want to do is I want to actually, okay, am I playing the accompaniment? I believe I am. I'm not going to have a singer there. I'm not going to have a singer at the wedding. I can kind of play the accompaniment in one hand. I got a funny time pronouncing that word. I can kind of play it in one hand, but the first thing I notice is we got the F minor 7. You know, that would be F minor 7. Now, because reading is understanding, we actually understand that F minor 7 is also a G flat minor 7. Now we're going to go to your A chord. And then we're going to go with the E with the G in the bass, G sharp in the bass. So that's what exactly that I'm looking for in the song. Now, what I want to do is I want to kind of get a feel for the song without playing the song. Kind of weird, huh? I want to get a feel for the song without playing the song. And this is where counting, sorry, I'm drinking my C4 before I go to the gym. This is where my counting comes into play. So I read the chord changes, right? I read the chord changes. And if I were doing this 100% correctly, I'm looking to go from 1, 2, 3, 4. Reading is also counting. Now, reading is comprehension. Reading is counting. Reading is also taking the time to learn the music. Now, I'm not going to rush it. I'm not going to rush it. I just want to get the rhythm pattern in my hand. So we're going to move from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to go to a D chord. And that D chord, I don't know if I can, good boys deserve food. I don't even know if I can stretch that, because check this out. This thumb has got to reach. That thumb has got to reach there. Now remember, we're only dealing with 3 sharps. So it's important to remember those sharps and flats. Reading is comprehending. Reading is memory. So remember 3 flats. C sharp, F sharp, and G sharp. So those are your 3 sharps. Anything outside of that, and you're going outside the key. So if let's take it back again. Reading also is repetitive. Reading is also repetitive. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to get that rhythm section in our left hand. This is the reason why I always teach the left hand first. You want to get the rhythm section in your left hand. So, and you can kind of hear it. And I wonder what tempo it was done at. You know, I got a phone charging. Let's find out. It's powered on. Oh, we got the tempo right here. It says it right in the music. So we are going to 81 and learn it's moderately fast. This is almost R&B-ish. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to kick it down. Kick your BPMs down. And now we're going to hit the D chord up. We're going to hit a regular D chord. Now, the weird thing about this, when we talk about reading, and we're saying that reading is comprehension, let me turn that off. So we're going from, I was supposed to have turned that off, but bear with me. Now here's the thing, it's demanding, and this is where your inversions come into play. Now, when I'm reading the sheet music, it's asking me for D, A, and F. Now, because I can't stretch it, the way it's asking me to read that D, A, and F is it's asking me to drop the D. It's actually commanding for this. So we're going from a D. We're actually going there, but because my hands, they're not necessarily tiny hands, they're medium hands. I'm going to revoice that in an inversion where I can reach it. So if you guys are looking at my hands right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, we got the D, A, and the F chord. So I'm gonna play it just like that. Now we're gonna go back to the, and we're gonna actually, so let's rewind. Let's take it back because we need to figure out the number system at the same time. See, now reading is comprehension. This is and mind you, I haven't even gone through the piece yet. I'm still just dealing with the top portion of the song. So I'm not really a fan of writing on my sheet music. I don't like the way that sounds, but we're gonna have to voice it like that. I need the lyrics. I'm gonna say fair use for this. I'm gonna say fair use in the name of a cover song. because we need to get that rhythm right. We need to get the rhythm right. We need to get the BPM right. I'm not going to use the audio system behind me. I'm going to use another cell phone. So we're going to go here. So we're going to go with the F minor. And if you think about it, in the key of A, your F is actually what? So we're going to go from a 6, 1, 6, 1, 4. As a matter of fact, for laughs, I'm going to take the pencil. Of course, since we're doing reading is also writing. Just to, and here's the thing, guys. We do this for shortcuts. So we're going to go from 6. This is the chord progression. 6. So that F minor 7, I'm sorry. 6. Back to your A, which is going to be your 1. And this all goes by reading 6, 1, 4, 6, 1, 4, and I'm giving you the positioning of the chords. This is called the number system. 6, 1, 4, back to your 1, and then we're gonna go to your E chord, which is your, what did I say that you were looking for? Your E chord is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is gonna be your 5 chord. So the whole entire, throughout the whole entire course of the song, and we're talking about a bar song, Tipsy. 6, 1, 4, 1, 5. That is the chord progression. So if you were playing in any other key, to those that play in all your keys, the first thing I remember is the chord progression. That's the very first thing that I remember is the chord progression. Okay, well, the Happy Birthday song start on a G. So we're going from a, I thought I wrote it down. And I did. And I'm gonna just use this as a brief, got so much stuff here. I'm just gonna use this as a brief example. Crapola. I got some great music right there. Jay Reader White, man, how you doing? Hi, I'm a kid on my dad's phone. Okay, cool. Okay, so reading is comprehending. Reading is taking your time. Reading is simply learning. Okay, here we go. So, had it on another piece of sheet music. I had this on another piece of sheet music. So, going back to this song called a bar song, I'm going to say fair use again, but also you guys saw me write down the number system. So if you take a song called Happy Birthday, and the melody starts in G. Now remember, we're going to go from a 1. It's back to your 5. Back to your melody. But we're going to start on the 5. Back to your 1. Five. Resting on the 5. So here's a weird thing about that. I'm trying to read my own notes. Resolve to the 4th. So see, oh yeah, I have a question. Reader, go ahead. What's your question, my friend? Back to your 5, 4. There you go. Resound to the 4th. There it is. There you go. Resounding back to the fourth. If you guys will come in on the live, like, subscribe, share. If you dislike it, even dislike it, let me know. Let me know that you're there. Can I do a song request? You can give me the name of a song, and I will actually jot it down. I won't play it at I won't play it at this time because it's not really the live isn't really about a request, but more about learning to read music and the importance of it. But I thank you for the dialogue. I thank you for tuning in. But yeah, what's the name of the song? But going back to the bar song, you guys can see how I pulled the sheet music out, and just like I have this happy birthday song here, just like I have this happy birthday song there. I don't know if you guys can see, but you see that 1-5-1-5 resound to the 4. Those are me writing the chord progressions down. I'm writing the chord progressions down. So I took the same thing with this song, a bar song, Tipsy, and as you guys can see, 6-1-4-1-5, and you're going through that whole song just playing that 6-1-4-1-5. So if you want to get the rhythm pattern, a good thing to do is to just play the root note. So if we go from the 6, which is going to be, again, say it with me. I wonder how they got in that key. Hold on for 1 second. That's going to bug me. I just noticed that. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm back. Sorry about that. Something bugged me. I am back, guys. But going back to what reading is, well, I'll do this real quick. Leave a comment in the comment section on what do you think reading is. Okay, yeah, that was gonna bug me. Make sure my keys are straight. And exactly why. That was gonna bug me. I'm like, what is that inside my keys? So we've already talked about the breakdown of, and for this example, a bar song. We've already talked about the breakdown of the song, how I pulled the sheet music out. Reading is understanding. I'm looking at the key signature. We have my 3 sharps right there. As a disclaimer, I do not hail to be any type of great reader. I'm gonna look in the camera and say that. One of the goals for this season for me, is to get my reading better and better. So we started in January with that goal. I had a goal to actually start reading a page of new sheet music every single day until the Tomorrow song stopped me in its tracks. So we got that in the key of D. So let me see if I can do a... I'm trying to go somewhere with this. I'm sorry. I literally took a left at Normandy. So I'm thinking A flat. So if I do... So, and we're going to start on the 4th. Let me see. So if I do a fourth, okay, so now I'm trying to blend two different genres of music together. Anyway, I just completely went left. Music ADD. Who else do we got in the house? Would you do doing Sardis by Monty? I'm gonna write that down. Hold on. Matter of fact, Nasalimi. I hope I pronounced that right. Thank you and welcome to the room. The title of the topic in the room today is reading is, and as you guys are dropping me these songs, I'm looking them up as well. Runaway, I remember. Let me see, hold on for 1 minute. Sardis, M-O-N, let me see right here. Okay. Fair use for a minute. That does sound like a beautiful piece. I dig that. Nasalimi, thank you. I'm almost it almost has that European, that Russian feel to it. But I can't do it right now, but I will pull that up and I'm gonna learn that. I'm learning it right now on Steel Pans. Okay, yeah, that's a dope song right there. That's a song. Um, Reader, Runway by Kanye. Let me see. Hold on for 1 second. Type this down here. Runway. And when we say Kanye, you mean as in Kanye? Let me see. Okay, I got you. Hold on. I'm gonna say fair use because I'm just looking up the song. Come on. See, and reader, you can't do this to me because here's the thing. I'm the type. If you look over here, if you guys came into the room earlier, I had all this equipment covered up here. If you look right here, got a nice beautiful Akai. Here's the thing. Every time you guys drop me or recommend me new music, I'm not trying to be mean, but my name is Caden. Okay, Caden. Okay, so don't. Okay. You know what? Caden. I call you by your screen name. I call and I try not to get personal and ask people's personal names. But if you want to drop that in there, that's cool. I only recognize you by your screen name. And if I can't pronounce a screen name, as in Nasalemi, I'll try my best. Excuse my mispronunciation of it, but that's how I recognize you guys. I'm just a kid on my dad's phone. Okay, cool. Here's the thing, guys. Every time you guys drop me a new piece of music, keep this in mind. I live in the music producer lane. That's the lane I live in. I like writing music. I like creating music. That's the reason why. That's the reason why I can go different places. So every time you guys drop me, can you play this? Can you play that? I jot it down, or I try to play it inside the phone so that I can jam off that a little bit later. But back to the topic at hand. Back to the lecture at hand. Reading is number one. Reading is comprehension. Reading is understanding. You comprehend. My gift isn't that I can play music. I've never held myself to be a pianist. I never thought about that. So, uh, so where'd that come from? Take that chord up. Anyway, here's the thing about that. Yeah, you guys can see if you guys drop certain stuff off, I might take a left somewhere just so I won't forget an idea. But back to the lecture at hand. Bar song, tipsy, everything that reading is. Comprehension, understanding, reading takes time. Reading is actually also writing and taking notes. This is the importance of reading. I can sit here and ear hustle all day, but I'm gonna get the most out of when I sit down and I read the music. It's almost just as important as, you know what the difference is? I don't know if you guys are familiar with a Stephen King book, such as, I'm gonna say, Pet Sematary. There's Pet Sematary when you watch it, and then there's the reading version when you actually read the book. The book is going to give you a whole different experience and much more details than you watching the hour and 15 movie ever can. That is the comparison between reading music and actually learning to play by ear. That's a good analogy right there. So if you guys are continuing to listen to this podcast, not a podcast yet, maybe I'm speaking in the future. I'm gonna say fair use here for a second. Gonna try to keep up with it. Okay, so it's gonna go. See, I had to pull it up. So we're going from the. That's how you're gonna take it right there. Reading is also. Hold on. Got two phones going on. Hold on for 1 second. There we go. So reading is actually comprehending as well. Reading is understanding. Reading is comprehension. Reading is also writing. So I'm actually getting into the technical aspects of a song. This is everything that reading affords me to do before I even start pressing on the keys. This is all that I'm doing. I'm analyzing the song. I'm listening to the rhythm pattern. It's kind of we got the six. Where are we going from the six? And I'm getting my hands situated. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it right there. That's all. That's the only thing that you could do. So I remember the 6. 1. So I can go with the. Once I get that rhythm pattern down, I may try to play the melody in the right, but that rhythm, I just want to work with that for a second. And guys, this is what we go through. Or again, I know you guys are gonna get tired of me flashing this badge. I'm like, yes, Josh, we know you're a part of classical entertainment. I used to sit there and before they gave a performance, I used to sit there and this is all they used to do. They had I believe it was 6 weeks to learn a song. They had 6 weeks to learn a song. They had 6 weeks to learn a song, and this is what it was gonna be night after night. Come on in. And their rehearsals were paid. They're getting paid for these rehearsals because they when it was time to perform, they had to perform. And they were taking songs that they might have known. They were taking requests, blah 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 blah, that they didn't know, and they were going ham. But guess what, guys? Reading allowed them to do that. So I'm gonna leave you guys with this. Reading is everything. Hope you guys liked the live today. I just had to get that out there. You guys have a blessed and good Tuesday, and peace. And don't forget to read.